Hello, everybody. Got a okay. Couple minutes late today. Oh well. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. January 4th. Good to see everybody. Kenani. Mm-mm-mm. David, good morning. Hey, girl. Making it all happen. And of course, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. I'm sure most people will be asleep this morning like they should be. Grandma Janet, cold New Jersey. Is everybody from New Jersey? We got Jersey Jan, we got Totally Jersey, and Grandma Janet. I think it should say Grandma Janet from Jersey. I like that. Love Kanani. I think that's the best name so far because everyone loves Kanani. Oh, cool. A side project, huh? Cool. Oh, Rennie's making waffles. Is Rennie's mom up? Hi, Rennie's mom, if you're up. Do you do you make your waffle mix from scratch, or is it from a bag? Because there's really good ones. I mean, I know. I just have a feeling you make everything from scratch. I don't think Rennie plays around. We love Jersey. All right, Dave, dabbing, deep clean my glass. You know what? I did that too. I filled up a huge thing with vinegar and then put that sucker in there for 24 hours. Like brand new, baby. I mean, I'm not someone who thinks, because like Ghirardelli, chocolate, double cocoa, chocolate milk powder, like it's the greatest thing in the world, right? So who cares that it's from a pouch? You know what I mean? Um, Buttercup's in the house. Good morning. Jersey Jan. Hey, Jersey Jan, did you know that Grandma Janet is from Jersey? Did you know that? Joe McCoy, good morning, sir. Mm-mm-mm. Happy Sunday. Good morning to everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. Um, we're definitely going to go out later. Whether we'll see what we do, but we're going to head out later. I need to get the hell out of the house too. Do something that I enjoy. Um, Susan P. Good morning. Do 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 do. Yeah, we're going to definitely do something later. Um, just haven't decided what. Starting to get a hankering for a cigar. Um, oh, Jersey Jan knew that. Okay. That's so funny. Yeah, Janet. It should say Janet from Canada. No. Yeah. Well, that'll work. Are you Grandma Janet from Jersey? That works. Lori Marie, good morning. Mm. Cricket Cinema is in the house. Okay, so anyway, today I wanted to touch on Marty RathBUM. And for those who don't know, he was basically the number two guy in Scientology for 25 years. Um, I mean, Inspector General. I mean, an order from him would be no matter what. Like the only way one of his orders could even be canceled would be from David Miscavige himself. Okay, so again, we have a situation where for a quarter century now, did he get punched in the face and all that too? Yes. Okay, but he saw however many people get beat up. I would imagine he was okay with it because um, he was he would put teams together that would harass the crap out of people. Okay, by his own admission, that's one of his jobs responsibilities. Okay, is to make those squirrel buster squads. Where you grab you have six or seven absolutely deranged, unhinged idiots. Uh, you know, go scream and shout in front of somebody to get them fired or to make them look like a weirdo. But that doesn't work anymore in 2025. Again, people immediately go, "Who are those four idiots?" That doesn't work anymore. So, but I also remember as a kid, I remember that stuff happening, and I thought that was incredibly embarrassing. They would literally just walk up to you and start screaming in your face, a la a very sick person we all know that does that. You know, um, just gross and it was so embarrassing to me because again, don't forget if you're coming from my angle, I spent all day, every day trying to figure out how to be this great communicator and all that shit, which was, I mean, that was the idea, right? So you could become the best auditor you could possibly be. Um, and that's such a low vibration, just like the people who, attack every day. Nothing good to say, nothing good to do about anything because they don't get any views. So, you know, there's a whole horribly misshapen, distended, disgusting wretch loser that won't shut up about AA Ron, right? But that's because she can't get one view without it. There's no channel, okay? And she won't get paid anything, okay? Her income will go down 98, 99%. So, um, but to to speak in to go in public to go up to someone and just start screaming is maybe the most ill thought out plan Scientology ever had because I know what they were thinking. This is going to make it really tough on the person we're haranguing, right? This is going to make it really tough on them. But the reality is, it makes people go, who are these people screaming? You know, um, you're an SB, you're a squirrel, ha 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 ha, we got you. Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, it's also people who are completely, who don't understand how real life works. Like you can tell that 99.9% of Scientologists had money or came from money, had access to money, because you don't operate like okay, I've lived in the barrio, I've lived in a lot of places that weren't nice, okay? I've been to a lot of friends' places that are in areas that weren't nice. You couldn't squirrel bust shit. You would get absolutely taken out. No one would even ask what your problem is. They'd be like, you don't belong here. You five idiots don't belong here. And that would be the end of you guys. You'd get rolled something special, and there ain't no calling the cops because no one saw a thing and nobody cares. Okay? Um, it just doesn't work that way in other communities, right? Like Scientology, squirrel busters are for like gated communities, for really nice areas, hidden hills, that'd be a great place to squirrel bust because you can be so far off the road by the time you're at the person's mansion, that you can't even hear what they're screaming about if you're the neighbor, and you can't hear it from across the street. You go to a nasty area, not nasty, but you know what I'm saying, just an area where people don't take crap. There ain't no squirrel busting. But it was just so embarrassing to me. It was just so embarrassing because, like, here's all these people who supposedly forego everything in order to become these super at peace, wonderful vibration, great place people, and this is how you act. You see how so much of this stuff happened to me over the years, right? You see how it just adds up and adds up, and it's like, what? You know? So, anyway, Marty put all that stuff together, okay? And Marty is, it was funny because when 60 Minutes interviewed him, they said, they said, what did they say? They said, he said that he looked at it like it was karma. Okay, so when he left, right, they started hammering on him. He knew that was going to happen, but then they hammered on his wife, Monique, and then he wasn't real happy with what was going on. But he's like, I think I've more than paid for it now, which I thought was really funny. I mean, that was just a comical line. Marty has no idea he's a laugh riot, okay? Because the truth is, he didn't receive 1/1000th of what he administered to other people. And it wasn't anywhere near as bad. He knows it's not bad. He knew what to look for at all times. He knew exactly what was going to happen next because he used to be the one ordering it. To the same people, he knew exactly what was going to happen. That makes it not 1/10 as hard to deal with. Okay? If you don't know, it's all brand new to you, and that's what gets people going nuts. Not doing it to the person who used to tell you how to do it, right? That's why, scooted that one guy out of the way and told him, get off my property, you losers. Who's busted now? Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? And that's how he was. Because he knew he could be. So it wasn't, I mean, I'm not saying it's nice to know that there's cameras pointed at you and that they're going to buy every house and put a plant in every bush put a camera in every bush and every plant. That's, but he knew that was going to happen. Okay. And I'm quite certain he knew how it was going to end, and he was okay with it. Okay. Um, just like and this is my opinion. These are all my opinions. That's all they are, my opinions. Um, Coming from someone who grew up in it and how I look at it and how it all hits me. Okay. Um, who not just grew up in it, but trained in it. Okay. Um, he knew what to expect, so it's just not that big a deal in comparison to someone who doesn't. All right. And he was much better able to defend himself. He knew to shred his mail. I mean, to shred his correspondence. He knew what to do. Doesn't mean it's not a pain in the ass, but he knew he would get paid off, in my opinion. Okay. Um, it took what, an hour of Debbie Cook testimony to get six, seven, $8 million, whatever it was. You know. Um, And that's again why I'm blackpilled with the whole idea of Scientology will be brought down by a lawsuit. We all know of a disgusting, smelly guy who lives in a truck. You could buy him off for $30 and some chicken nuggets. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like, why? How would you ever expect something to occur that's going to hurt Scientology through the court system? And that's if you're lucky enough to live long enough to sue and win, and then somehow collect. Okay. Um, but I still love the fact that they have to go through it. And I love the fact that it's still possible one day something could happen that they can't wiggle their way out of. Um, but if they offer someone enough money, I just think they go away. And that's why I don't look to the courts, for whatever. I mean, we had a chance. Like Miriam was a great opportunity if it wasn't held away from her on purpose by Rinder. So um, I mean, that was just as bad as it gets. And oh yeah, and by the way, Rathbun says because he 60 Minutes asked him, is there any does he know about does Miscavige know what's going on with you and all that, and he's just like, there's nothing that could happen that he doesn't sign off on. Nothing, no course of action, nothing could occur with anybody without an order. Okay, and it has to have a date on it and Miscavige's signature. Okay, so just remember that. Remember when Render's like, yep, don't know nothing about that one. Oh, yeah, I was busy with the other thing. Yeah, no, I don't know nothing about that. Nothing could occur without him signing off on it. Nothing. Okay, and in Scientology, you don't go over him. Like, in other words, Miscavige wouldn't bypass him unless it was something he already told him to do that he didn't do. Right? Otherwise, you're just, what the hell are you doing? You would never have 1 minute. Okay, so he's gonna wait. He's Miscavige. How it would work is he has things he wants done, and to get those done, Render might say, okay, here's 3 ideas that I have. I think we can do them concurrently. Blah 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 blah. And we get this, get that, and then that drops. And this is how I think we get there. And let's say Miscavige goes, okay, agreed, but just add this. Okay, boom. Now he goes about it, right? But nothing is happening on this without him giving another order to the people who were doing each thing. Okay? It's impossible, not improbable. It's impossible that Rinder didn't know everything. Impossible. Okay? You spend a day in your life, you would know this. Impossible. Um, so like Rathbun, that was one of my favorite things that ever happened. Okay. Because I just thought it was hysterical. Even though it was easy for him to deal with, I just thought it was hysterical that he caught the same crap that he gave. Okay. And I'm sure he refined the hell out of it. Okay. That's not a dumb man. Okay. I just think it's hysterical that he had to get that. That is just too damn funny. Um, but he has the answers that could bury Miscavige, and that's why he got paid. Okay. So my point to you all is, so did Render. Okay. All right. I'm of the opinion that he would have received a nice, handsome bag on the way out to do all those ridiculous videos. That's my opinion. That's what I believe would have happened, because I don't think you can get someone on their deathbed to just spew nonsense, um, unless you make it worth their time. Okay. And and it's the rarest thing that would ever happen. Like, you would feel a need that intense to go completely, like that idiot up north, purple veined loser. You would go completely psychotic. This is someone, don't forget, that was incredibly giving and nice and very important to Render. That's what Aaron was. So I believe that he got a nice, beautiful bag. That's my personal opinion. I have no reason, I have no proof of this. This is my opinion. Because I think even a crazy person would demand that. Okay, even a really sick, disgusting person would demand that. You know, well, yeah, I'm going to do a 7-part series. Like, get the hell out. That's the when you're dying. That's the one time you don't care, right? So someone had to say, hey, no, we want this. Okay. Um, and that's a person who was never healed at all. And I could see that. Okay. Just like I could see it in RathBUM. That's not a guy that's healed. If I was CIA or whatever, I would go hire him for something else. Okay. Seriously. I would have hired him long ago for some horribly satanic, disgusting thing. You know, he'd be my first choice. Okay. Go get him. Free agent, baby. This guy's sick. He's willing to do the craziest, sickest shit for a quarter century. That's our boy. Okay. Um, that's my opinion. That's what I would do if I was, one of these 3-letter deals, agencies. Um, so, um, yeah, so I don't think Scientology has enough money to give every last executive a $6-7 million payout, and it won't do anything to them. Okay, no problem. I think Scientology literally goes down, and there's no way anyone can stop it. I really believe this. At this point in time, I think, but with the internet and with the economy, you name it, everything, it's the perfect storm where Scientology just doesn't stand a chance. And as someone who put flyers up all over Los Angeles, 75,000 staples, okay, I used putting up flyers. I can tell you, not one time, not one single time did anyone scream, you bigot, or you suck, or, you know, F you, Scientology's great, or some kind of, every last time it was somebody saying, hey, you're way to go, they suck. It was always something of that, magnitude. Um, People can barely pay their phone bill. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to cough up, thousands of dollars for some stuff that doesn't have instantaneous effect. You know what I mean? There's just no way, no way. Okay. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be new people that do it, because they're going to come from somewhere else, or they're going to come from money. You can't stop those people. They got to learn the hard way. I knew plenty of trust fund babies, and you're not getting to them. They're going to do whatever the hell they want, and then they're going to cry about it. That's all there is to it. I'm not worried about that. It's unworkable as it is. They don't have the people, the system that they have worked out with their org board. Um, it takes far too long to train somebody. See, Scientology only works on the assumption that people stay in it, right? But unlike, like, let's say you opened a new Christian church, right? And keep in mind, I know nothing about it, okay? And I know enough to realize that I bet you if I just wanted more Christianity in this neighborhood and I opened up the everyone's welcome Christian church, I could get people through the internet and advertisements, whatever, who totally understand the Bible, um, and can deliver that knowledge and tell everyone to turn to Psalms 21:14, whatever, and start reading and have a great hour and a half or whatever you do, um, without much difficulty. I could get a lot of people tomorrow who understand the Bible. There's no such thing as I understand Scientology. Okay, there's all of these all of these things you need to do in order to understand what they're talking about at that level. Okay, you can't be down here and understand what's going on up here. You have to get there. There's no other way. Okay, so it's like, um, it just takes too long to replace people. When you have people that have been there 20, 30, 40 years, I mean, these people can wear 6, 7, 10 hats, no problem. Okay, no problem. Uh, Someone who's been there 8 months, there's almost nothing they can do. You know what I mean? It's a year and a half. You can sharpen the pencils or something. You know, go get some more clay. I mean, there's nothing for. So that's a serious problem. Okay. And they're recruiting 2 people a month at Flag. Only one of them is going to get through the EPF boot camp, for the Sea Org. They get 2 people willing to join every month. That's it. Only one's going to make it through the EPF. Who knows? The odds are not good that person's going to be there 1 year later. The odds are horrible. Okay. Now, the odds are super bad that that person will be there in 5 years. That's what they're dealing with today. But they're dropping like flies. Okay. And I wish I could remember who was saying that, but someone had like an age thing over at Pack Base, and like it is startling the age. And it makes sense though, because I'm like, wait a second, I'm 57. Okay. I'm old. F's sake. But everyone I'm thinking of was 15 years older than me. All these people are old as hell. Okay. And it's not like they look out for you over there. You're not going to last long. I mean, you'll last longer than someone who eats salads that have 300 more calories than a bacon cheeseburger does at Outback, and bloomin' onions and 2 Cokes. No, that person will probably expire very soon. But in Scientology, if you're in the SO, you're not going to get. I mean, you're just everyone knows stress kills, right? Stress kills. Much better than anything else. It's the most efficient killer on earth. All right, and it cuts through everything. Okay, if you're not happy, you're not healthy. You're not eating right. You're not treating yourself right, and you're stressed. And when you're unhealthy and you have to create that energy because you need to sell that disgustingness in order to make some money because you're just vermin, you're just gross. That's a horrible place to live. and that will absolutely eat you, and it will hurry up the insanity. Okay, so um, you know, uh, again, I thought it was hysterical that that Rathman had to put up with, with his own curveballs. I just thought that was hysterical. Um, and there's a lot of people there's a lot more people. Don't worry about it. Like Rinder and Rathman are immaterial. There's a whole bunch of more people who can also take them down if they wanted to. Okay. But they don't. Okay. And if you notice, like I said, that's how it is. I've never seen such nonsense in my life. The anti-Scientology community, there, 30% of it is anti-Scientology. 70% of it is people attacking anti-Scientologists, but in the name of anti-Scientology, right? So they're really pro-Scientologists. There's no other way. So, um, and you would have to be paid. You couldn't just, you'd pick a new narcissist if that was the case, right? Let's pick a new one. Who are we going to talk about this week? She should talk about herself every day because she's the biggest narcissist on earth, figuratively and literally, at least the most distended and bloated and inflamed narcissist on earth. Yeah, so pick a new one, and get the men haters all riled up and, get some more money. But it doesn't work that way because no one would care. The people who are paying her, if she is paid, that's my opinion, want a certain topic. And how would we know what that topic is? Well, you just look back and it's what it is every day for months and months and months and months and months on end, saying the exact same thing every single day. What is it going to be today? Narcissistic abuse. What about tomorrow? Abusive narcissist. What about the day after? Darbo. And you do this for 9, 10 months. The good news is, like, she has a really small audience anyway, and they're going to get bored of this, okay, pretty quickly because there's already 9 months of it. She already burnt it into the ground, and especially if you have no one fighting back, like it's just so boring. It's just so fucking boring. One trick pony bullshit, you know, from an absolute Nimrod knows nothing. Just unbelievable. But anyway, the point is, I think there's a lot of people in this because they thought they were going to be able to get somewhere doing it, that they never got to. Booze, belly, belly, couldn't get anywhere. All the bullshit she talks. No one gives a fuck. Totally immaterial. Can't make any money, can't do anything. Just a loner living in the middle of nowhere doing nothing. So, it's like, that's why I'm sort of black pilled, I guess, is what I'm getting at. When it comes to, money is the universal solvent. Let me tell you something, okay, with a lot of people. You know, um, it's gross. It's just disgusting. Uh, it's just gross. And it is one thing if you got paid. Listen, I told you guys, I don't even hold it against someone like Debbie Cook or even RathBUM, okay, for taking the money and shutting up and running because where are they going to go? What are they going to do? They give their whole life to that thing, okay? And even if they're pieces of crap themselves, they're you can see how it'd be really easy to justify for 6-7 million. Now, 1,000 steps below, we're talking lower than alligator pee, okay? Just absolutely and then way below that would be the scumbags who do this stuff for a couple grand a month. I mean, that's a whole new putrid, disgusting person. You know, uh, ugh, God, $6, $7 million. Come on, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna blame him. I'm not gonna blame him. Do I wish they had that someone had the wherewithal to stand up and say, "Screw you guys. This is this is worth everything to me. So this is what I'm going to do, and just hang them out to dry and not take it, and make it safe for a lot of other people, and be loved by a ton of people because of it. Um, sounds like a good way to go. You can't take the money with you anyway, right? So, um, but at least, like I said, at least you could sort of understand because it's such an enormous amount of money. But the people you can actually control who were survivors that you could control for 2, 3 grand a month, it's so disgusting. It's so gross. Oh, um, um, very few people, Lori Marie, very few people support. If you notice, it's all bogus accounts and bots. Who can you recognize that's in there? Nobody. Nobody. Who? There's like two people outside of Judy Chang that I'd even recognize ever. All the good people are sayonara. You'll find them in here. Okay? The good people don't go there. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't happen. Um, and even if you were someone who didn't like Aaron, because I don't give a crap if you are, but if you were someone who didn't like Aaron, okay, but you liked the fact that he's one of the hardest working protesters in history and has done more for the anti Scientology movement than any person ever, but you didn't, maybe personally, you're like, I don't care for him. Okay. Or even if you were like, I think he's sort of a half a dick or something for some reason. Okay. You'd be over it like 10 months ago, right? You wouldn't go on about it every single day for hours and hours and hours, saying the same exact shit. Okay. And if there was anyone good in that chat, they would go, by the way, why are you trying to hurt someone who's attacking Scientology and then trying to pawn yourself off like you're an anti-Scientologist when all you even do is once every couple of weeks you cover the absolutely meaningless bull BS phone calls to the police board of idiots. Absolutely worthless. Absolutely worthless. So fighting Scientology one planner at a time. Oh, thank God for you. And she doesn't even do anything. What did she do? Make a couple of calls? Oh, fantastic. Like anyone cares. And talk about narcissism. She wanted to have a booth at the Father's Day thing. Meet a survivor. What a narcissistic, disgusting, jelly rolled wretch of a just filthy, disgusting human. Ugh. Oh my God. Pure vomit. Um, so yeah, my point is every single day, if it's she has to go to work, okay, in my opinion, to get paid, just like anybody. So otherwise, why don't you talk like on true crime? Do you say the same thing forever? The same case forever? Are we still talking about Jodi Arias every day? No. You move on. Okay? But when the people who pay you want a certain narrative, they're not going to pay you to talk about someone else. Okay? So, anyway, so like I said, it's this, like I couldn't be more proud than to know all I got to do is touch a button and I can reach all the people that matter in this community. Believe me, I took a good look. Every good person in this community that I can even think of um, is all good with me. Okay. Everyone. I'll bring up something as a point or an aside in a whole nother stream, right? And then I move on. But it's like, I don't do 4 hours on one every day, you see? Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Maybe I should troll her for 4 hours while she's doing her show. Maybe I should do that. You know, she's just not worth any time though. She's so gross. I can't look at her. Oh God damn it. Ugh. Um, but do you see what I'm saying? We have an amazing community, but only like out of every 100 people that have our back and that appreciate us, there's only one that's willing to say something. Okay, it's a total difference, the exact opposite of Jerry Springer BS. Um, like I said, they're so bad at this. If I was gonna do what Jughead, what Pat does, I would already have 400,000 subs, and people will be lined up around the block laughing their balls off at the last show. Can't wait for the next. Every single day, every day. Okay, they're so horrible at this. They got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 subs. They're idiots. Okay, but the point is, you know, you can't be anti-Scientology and attack anti-Scientology protesters, especially when you yourself do nothing to protest Scientology. So just know that. Okay, just know that. Um, Simple. Um, um, yeah, I mean, no one asked me to be. I don't give a shit about Aaron's relationships except that I hope they're good. That's what I care about. I hope they're good, and for him and for whoever he's with. Period. Everybody who's in this, I hope the same thing for everybody. I don't care who you could name. If they're a good person, I wish them the absolute best in everything they do. You know, this would not happen in any other community where the people supposedly are there to uplift those who are fighting Scientology because they themselves were victims of it. Okay. Or are survivors of it. Whatever. Um, and, that's no one cares about your personal crap, at all. If we were going to hold everyone up to that kind of stuff, Nimrod can't win a war against donuts, but she wants you to believe she's going to take us to the promised land somehow. Okay? She is going to die from Coca-Cola, a 6-pack of Coke a day, and everything else. Like I said, that distension, don't tell me you've seen anything like that on someone that young. That is crazy. The inflammation and distension, she is in horrible straits right now. That is called fatty liver disease. I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV. I don't give doctor advice. I'm just telling you what I can see myself from looking at that and just knowing from other people who had that, who looked identical. Okay. That is not from eating a donut or two too many times. That's from being incredibly unhealthy and taking in so much, corn syrup that your body is literally overwhelmed. Sugar and corn syrup. Your body is overwhelmed. Okay. So she can all act all cutie booty and it's, keep putting it You know, yeah, it's so cute. Okay. Um, so my point is, I don't even have a point actually. I'm just having fun making fun of her for a couple minutes. Yeah. So yeah, the important people are the only people I give a shit about reaching when it comes to the Scientology stuff. I know how to get eyes on my channel, okay? Obviously a lot better than a lot of other people do. Okay. So, I was able to do that. And if you look at my channel, there's no way to go anywhere from about to anything to any, you can't even peruse it in any manner without knowing what I feel about Scientology. Boom. Done. That's exactly what I did with my flyers. That's all a flyer does. And it reaches maybe 1 out of 50 people who walk by. You know. Um, but I have successfully gotten an enormous number of eyes on that. Now, as far as someone listening to me on an advanced class and my feelings, about specific stuff, a bunch of specificities in Scientology, I would expect that audience to be very, very small. Of course it would be. Okay. Um, so I'm very, very happy and proud to have absolutely reached all the good people in this entire movement. They all know how I feel and my struggle, what I've been through and what I care about. Doesn't mean they all care, but they all know. Okay? And everyone knows I'm a good person. They might not like, the cut of my jib, whatever. That's fine. That's normal. No big deal. But they know I'm real. Okay? And I'm always going to bring it real. You don't have to worry about me being paid off. None of that shit. And like I say, I mentioned this crap in passing, right? It's not a 4 hours a day on this crap, right? With some kind of 30-minute little BS wannabe, look at me, I made a phone call or some shit. Protest that no one gives a shit about, that does nothing at all. Nothing. Okay? Which is, by the way, more proof to me, that's my opinion, how I got my opinion, why I believe this person is paid off, is because they never, ever vary from it. Like I said, they never vary. It goes right back to the same thing. I'm going to say the whole same thing again today that she says every single day. She's going to say the same shit. Blech. You're going to vomit a big puddle of the same crap. Because that's the only way you get paid. Prove us wrong. Start talking about other people. There's millions of other narcissists you can talk about, right? Starting with yourself. Do a month on yourself. The misshapen, distended, bloated, and brutally inflamed narcissist club. Something to think about. So anyway, yeah, so let's see what you guys are saying. Buttercup, specific, continuously topics, money payoff. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's like, it wouldn't even, it would be impossible. You would already have talked about 700 different people. Come to my true crime channel where I talk about one person forever. Huh? And you get paid, like I say, for, I mean, here's one thing that I didn't know 2 years ago that I know today, okay? The number one way the grifting scammers make money in this, the number one way is raising money for attorneys that they never end up giving the money to. or they only give a small amount of it to, and they never show you a receipt, obviously. Um, or they raise 2,500 or 3 grand, and then they pay 1,500, and you just made 1,500. Okay. We've seen it with Snapperhead. We saw it with Selfish Simp. Um, you know, He Who Stinks Like Shit. All these people. That's the number one way they make money. Big, big sums of money. Um, but like I said, it's so easy for OSA. And they don't even have to do it through CCHR. Like I said, there's nothing easier than going to CVS, Walmart, Rite Aid, whatever. Every time you go in one, every week you buy 30 prepaid cards, $100 a piece, 300 a piece on each one, and you have every person who works on it has 30 accounts. You can make it rain. Okay, you can make it rain, and you can make it look like someone is super popular, and that's where the narrative is, and everyone's behind it, and everyone's just flying money in there. You guys all know how unreal that is, how absolutely unreal that is. Okay, there's no way you can say the same crap every single day, and people will just be like, yeah, yeah, here's more money. It doesn't work like that. So when you see that happening, you see, and then you'll see some people, which are really funny, on Stinky's thing that I've noticed. There's a whole bunch of them that since day one, right, have been given $50, $100, $20, $10, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, sometimes 2, 3 times a day. Do you know how few people can actually afford to do that? Do you realize how few people can actually afford to do that? Very few people have a couple grand or more a month to give away to internet idiots as a pastime. Okay? Very few. I'm not saying, listen, if I have $100 million and I like you and I'm giving you 2 grand a month, of course, that's like me giving someone 2 pennies. I get it. So I understand there are times when it's relative and whatever. But I'm saying normally, across the board, that's not how it works. People have to get 1.5 million subs to get the kind of, the money that OSA gives you. Okay. And these people are horribly, like, they're not even entertaining. It's the same shit every single day. No one could do anything with that, but Chris Rock couldn't do anything with that material. Every day. Every single day. Boy, have I told you about Aaron, he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. And he has cysts all over his narcissisness. And boy, is he some. He's a malignant narcissist, and he smells, and he's a narcissist. He's abusive, and he admits that he's horrible and awful, even though he never said any of that, ever. And everyone knows he didn't actually da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But you're saying these things because you're, the whole point is, in my opinion, no one will pay you unless you go hard in the paint. No one's going to pay you for sweet little nothings, okay? So you got to blow up and do your disgusting thing that you do every day, every couple days, 3-4 hours of disgustingness. Yeah, to say the same shit. And who is being attacked? It's somebody who literally has spent every fucking minute attacking Scientology. Every minute attacking Scientology. Okay? Not attacking the distended, disgusting, bloated, and inflamed idiot, Nimrod. No. Attacking Scientology. Okay? Nimrod has not attacked Scientology. I can't remember when. I think once or twice she went over to the Portland org, which is also absolutely immaterial. Absolutely immaterial. There's nobody there. Nobody cares. What, once or twice she went there? I don't know. Uh, um, have you ever been anti something and then attacked the people at the top of that were actually doing something? Have you ever attacked the people that were like you're anti this, and then have you ever then attacked the other people who were anti that, who are actually working against it while you talk? Have you ever done that? I haven't. It's really gross. Okay. And it's for no other reason than to try to take it down, not to get a point across. Because the point has been, she got the point across 9 months ago, 10 months ago. That's not what it is. It's propaganda. It's to hit those points every single day, every single day. Boom, boom, boom. It's propaganda. That's what it is. There's lots and lots of people who deserve the attention of a maniac, if you were really there to help, thousands and thousands of times above AA, Ron. And if you were a victim or a survivor of Scientology, and you wanted to see some Scientology come down, the last thing you would do would be attack the people who were attacking Scientology, even if you didn't like them. You would still be happy they're there and happy they're doing what they're doing. Okay. The reason I didn't like what I saw with, Stinky and Joe Dirt was because it's always screaming. Okay, just like Nimrod, screaming, screaming, calling senior citizens, cursing senior citizens in their face, calling them the C word. You should be pummeled for that. Pummeled for that. In real life, you should be pummeled for that. That's what normally happens when you attack senior citizen women like that. That's what normally happens. Okay, if he would have done that, if Stinky would have done that in El Paso and someone heard it, if he would have done that in Memphis and someone heard it, there'd be no Stinky. He'd have long given up this life. Okay. So and watching, people scream at the side of a building while they're gacked. What is that? Walking around the street 3 a.m. screaming at people. Just maniac. Absolutely gross. That does nothing. That does nothing but make us look pathetic. Okay? They know how to protest. We have shown them over and over and over again. Okay? And you don't have to be anywhere near an org. You hold a sign, Scientology abuses children. Scientology is a cult. Whatever you want to do. And go to the most busy intersection you got and clue people in. How hard is that? Oh, I'd rather make a call that there's no record or minutes of that means nothing about anything to anybody. No one inside the church, no one outside the church, no one. It means literally nothing to anyone. Ever. You write a check and it's gone. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, they're back up again. They can do whatever they want. It's meaningless. And in fact, now that they know we're that dim, if I was them, I'd keep putting them back up. I go, we just got them. That's another 9 months of work they're gonna do. Keep these guys on a wheel. That's what I would do. So my point is, I'm sick of these people, right? And they are not anti-Scientology. They will never, ever have anything to do with those of us who are. That's why you never see them with us, and that's why you always see them attack us. That's simple. Okay? That's simple. And Yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to say. And Rathbun, in my opinion, is a piece of crap. Oh, Rennie, thank you for that 26 you gave me yesterday. I saw it literally as it cut off. I saw it go up, but I couldn't say nothing. But thank you, Rennie. Yeah, so I mean, you guys have seen me, and all the good people. You find one person who's respected anywhere, okay, who doesn't like me. I'm not saying that, I mean, who thinks I'm full of shit or I don't come with the truth or I'm not here for the right reasons. Find one, okay? I'll give you a month to find someone who's stupid enough to think Nimrod is here for the right reasons. No one's that stupid, okay? Some people just hate men so much that they don't care where the hate comes from. They're like, yeah, whatever. Um, but um, yeah, I wanted to say that because the truth is, I hope and pray that they never get 1 second worth of mention on any other channel. Okay, and as you've noticed, I don't mention them on this channel. If you know, you know, right? And 99% people may know or may not know. Who knows? But if you know, you know. So that's it. But they're never going to get any shine. There's never going to be someone who doesn't know who they are who then knows because of me. You know what I'm saying? And then joins that. No, no. Um, um, but yeah, if you're here because you want to see us continue to put the pressure on an absolute beast that beat us all uh, into the dirt, we welcome your help and we welcome your support. And we couldn't be any more proud to have it. And we couldn't be any more grateful. Okay. Um, but none of us look at those people like they are anti-Scientology in any way. Don't let someone fool you because they were a survivor and now their full-time job is attacking anti-Scientologists. It's their full-time job. What are you guys saying? Okay. Do. Sherrick AF, baby. Uh, A girl, was Marty an independent Scientologist or an undercover Scientologist, or did he actually quit? Marty took off and then was given big dough, supposedly, to stay back in, to get back in and be quiet. That is what supposedly happened. That is the rumor. Kanani. I have a friend who lives in Hidden Hills. I can go there anytime I want. And by the way, the very first street in Hidden Hills, when you get right past the gate, the first right and that first house is Alex Van Halen's house. More absolutely worthless information. Belfster, Squirrel Buster in Chief, John Allender also behaved clownishly to Mark Bunker and is a Twitter troll. Oh, wow. Night Sky Fire, so good to see you. And that's why I don't care about bringing Scientology down to the courts or whatever. I don't even think it's realistic. I hope it happens, and just because I don't think so doesn't mean it's not going to happen. By the way, I hope you realize that. I have no. That's just my thought, right? I think they're screwed no matter what because they're not going to be able to recruit. So I think they're donezo. It's just a matter of time, and we can speed that up, and that's what we're doing. Okay. And if we can make it happen 5 years earlier, that's a whole lot of people that aren't going to be suffering because we were able to do that. So I'm happy to be a part of that. And I know you guys are. Phoenix Book Girl. What's up, Trent? 20 years after Rathbun Blue, RTC Misery Machine still churning. Yeah, it's incredible. Barbara Schwartz still yearning for her original Marty. Yeah. But like I say, it's very rare in this world that you can come up with the battle plan of how to harass the living you know what out of people, and then have it used on you. That is funny stuff. Oh. Lori Marie, too often money pays off victims and also pays off witnesses. Exactly. Bodie's Beaches is in the house. Me again. So good to see you. Me again. I can't wait to hopefully one of these days here soon. I'm gonna go into one of those properties. I can't wait to see if it just goes up automatically. I'm gonna laugh. That's gonna be so cool. I can't wait to try that out. Um, wow. C.O. Bilf, data point. Shortly after he died, Lynn Farney and Moxon, FOIA rendered communications with the feds. Wow. Um, for every responsive document they provided, Farney Moxon question. Wow. C.O. Bilf getting the runaround trying to find out what they actually got. Yeah. Ready. C.O. Bilf, you getting the I'm sorry? FBI is really, really busy right now. Excuse. Phoenix Book Girl says it perfectly. Yeah, the MR name change makes me cringe. How anyone can continue to glorify that man. He could have gone out with the hey everyone, what the I mean, he could have gone out with as a hero. I'm sorry, everyone was making him out to be and chose not to for fear of implicating himself. Yeah. Yep. Karen McCourt. Lori, good point. Fear buys silence, but money really buys silence. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's Lori Marie, good morals are more important to me than money. I have turned down money just to fight to win and get zero money. The win is enough for me. That's because you're awesome, Lori Marie, and that's why we love you. That's so awesome. Me again, I can't wait. um, uh, yeah, I mean it's just like I said, it's just gross. And the kind of cognitive dissonance you need to have to support people like that is amazing. Just amazing. It's like Booze Booze Belly Belly really didn't even, in my eyes, support Nimrod that much until she found out she was about as welcome as Ebola in Clearwater. Okay, because she was more than happy, if you recall, to forward a narrative that was 100% incorrect before she even checked it out because it was anti-air, and then she thought, hey, that seems to be working for Nimrod. Um, Disgusting. Hey girl, I will say I have never known a movement fighting for good that had victims get attacked. This was my first experience where I saw it happen. And a girl knows the interwebs. So, this is crazy. This is because of who we're fighting. That's why this is what it is. And remember, if you're doing what OSA would do, you are OSA. That's how simple this is. Okay? OSA would pick a narrative and try to pound it in your head for hours a day for months on end. That's what they do. Who fits that bill? What two, three people fit that perfectly? Jersey. How did we go from Marty How did we go from Rathbun to Nimrod? I'm all over the place. Who the hell cares? It's a Sunday, you know? Who cares? I'm having fun with my friends. I love you guys. Any chance to hang out with you guys, I'm all about it. But see, Lori Marie, just so you know, look at the views, right? There's no views when she's not attacking Aaron. There's nothing. Okay? Nothing. No money coming in. So, OSA doesn't pay you not to work. Rennie, like I said, the OSA's never going to sign a check, right, from OSA or get a contract to anybody. But what they're able to do, and we know this back, let's okay, the internet wasn't even a thing, right? So let's say since 2005, I would guarantee you there's three, four times as many people probably working on internet related things as there were before that, right? Because it just would be. And it's so easy to do. When this is what you do for 16 hours a day, How hard would it be if to just make 50 accounts? You have five, six, seven, eight, 10 people with 50 accounts apiece. You can make anything look any way you want it to so easily. So easily. You could put 500 people in someone's chat. Of course, we all know you end up seeing the same 20 people talking. That's all nonsense. And then uh, like I said, you just start throwing $2, $5, 10, 20, and you could always hit, $25 over and over and over and over on buy me coffees, and PayPal's and Venmos, and it would never be suspicious. No one could ever put it together. They're all different cards, It's it's so easy. You say the right thing, money just shows up. That's all there is to it. Bodie's Beaches. Maybe the Mike Rinder Foundation are paying her to go after Aaron continuously. That's a theory. Who knows? I have no idea. Like I said, we'll have no idea of probably ever finding these things out. So everyone has an opinion, and this is where you're going to let me know what your opinion is. That wouldn't surprise me any. Diana Lynn on the money. Yeah, I know. David says it's like Aaron did something to her puppy and she's gone John Wick on him is the only other explanation I could contrive. Yeah. They knew each other for like 7 months, and this working in the same building, very rarely having anything to do with each other that took longer than a minute or two. But never been to each other's house, never shared a meal. But you would think that he literally ate her puppy, you know. Um, wow, Joel, that's gnarly. Uh, Joel says, I have been in the animal rescue field for over 30 years. There was a person who hated me, spent all her time saying crap about me. Found out a few years ago she was paid by a group who wanted me gone. That is so heavy. Can you imagine? Joel's the nicest guy in the world, or at least the nicest guy in this hemisphere, okay? And someone was paying someone to try to get rid of Joel. I mean, that's incredible. This world is sick, man. Oh, Kanani. My favorite people that post on the regular: Tori, AA, Ron, Jenna, Eric, and Cheryl. Thank you so much. SPD's in the house. Wow. They were mad that Joel wouldn't fundraise for them, so they attacked him. Again, knowing all the good. Let's say like you were just pissed because Joel wouldn't fundraise for you, right? Because the Save a Lizard Foundation just wasn't taking off or whatever, and he needed the money for what he was doing. He had his own thing he's fundraising for, right? Um, like I can always accept someone not appreciating someone else. I don't care, fine. But then you would want to attack him with all the good that he's doing, right? With all the good that he's doing, you know. AA Ron got another 65,000, eyes on the prize on Friday, right? We all had a great time, fun protest. Um, Cheryl added another 10,000. There's a ton of people because of these streams that find out every week Scientology's horrible. How many people find that out from Nimrod's show? Yeah, exactly. And and what was she doing? She was trying, how can we get him thrown back in jail? How can we get him to stop attacking Scientology? How can we get him off the street so he can't attack Scientology? I mean, it's like I said, the cognitive dissonance that's needed to not believe that's a horrible, awful, disgusting, distended, inflamed, horrific wretch is unbelievable. Okay. Um. Oh, Lori Marie, those Aaron heads are awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to use those. Yeah, me again, 100%. Yeah. And like I said, if she cared about that, if that's what her new shtick was, then okay. What, we only get one new subject every 10 months? What is this? Who else? What do you got? You're gonna say the same thing today that you said the last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. You just title it something else and then say the same thing. Your job is attacking anti Scientologists. It's that simple. That's your job. That's all you do. But because you yourself suffered at the hands of it, you think that's going to save you in people's eyes. It doesn't. You know, the good people will never support you again, ever, ever. So good luck with this crap because no one outside of OS is going to pay you. And you're boring. And why is it that the people who are so hard to look at have to do the close up? Oh my God. Sincerely, just put on a belly shirt and back up so we can laugh our ass off, have a reason to tune in. Ugh. Okay. Mm-mm. I can't wait. I can give SPD a hug here just a little bit. Oh, me again. You're so sweet. God, I love you guys. I want to hug all of you guys. I know it would take a long damn time, but that's what I want to do. Me again says, and I choose to support the anti-PSYO peeps in this movement, regardless of their personal lives, which I wish nothing but peace and love for them. All in. Thank you so much. What's up, Scorpion? Mm-mm. I'm just catching up here, guys. Um, DTS in the house. And by the way, put a one in chat if DTS has the absolute cutest av currently on the internet. I mean, I desperately want a puppy every time I see that av. I want a puppy anyway, but you know what I'm saying. You know. Everyone agrees. Hey, Judy, the cutest puppy. She has that puppy in her av. It's just ridiculously cute. Okay, anyway, that's enough of my ranting. This is a Sunday. I was all over the place. I have no idea. And, you know, who cares? But yeah, Rathman, I think it's absolutely hysterical. You had to put up with a few years of your own crap. I think that is so damn funny. Oh, I love it. Um, and like, he got hit with some of his own real good ideas that were just like the last ones he probably threw in right before he took off. And he's like, oh, they got me with that one. That was a good one. Um, just the cutest jersey. Don't ask questions. That's hysterical. All right, you guys, I love you very much. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you guys later, even if we just take a cruise. We might go to a property, we might, whatever. But no matter what, if it's too cold to go to the sign or something, we'll just take a cruise up and down the strip one time, listen to some tunes, do whatever we want to do. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you soon. Until next time. Thank you, Rennie, for the 2026.